October's honorable mention is brought to you by Kelly and More Posabilities MP Studios Green Hair Kit for the Beast Deities Broly. If you are a collector in this SHF Tamashii Nation's realm, you should or may have most likely heard of the Beast Deities Broly. That was the Broly from last year that took all the attention away from the upcoming DF and winner of the 40th anniversary re-releases for SHF. So if you got this Broly, you may have also seen the additional head sculpts that came out for it, because Beast Deities does great with, the body sculpts, articulation, a little bit of detailing, but it looks like faces aren't really their, main focus. I'm not taking it completely away. Uh, the hair sculpt seems to be more of the issue, and this company, this studio, this additional third party created a swap out for it. So I got one of these for the nice price of $44. But once you open it up and you see the pieces themselves, they might be better. They're 100% better than what we got from the Beast Deities. You get two greens, but one is a hardened color and the other one's a translucent. But the faces look great. I am only saying that after looking at the Beast Deities figure maybe once in hand. But yeah, this Jolly Rancher green we have, the additional wavy, blowing hair sculpts, and them side by side they look really good together. Also the hands. I don't really care too much about the hands, but they do exist. They're there, and you also get an additional effects piece. I'm here for the head sculpt. Let's take him out and swap him out and see what he looks like in person. I think he deserves at least some airtime, right?
The Transformers will return after these messages.
What's going on, people? This is Craft Collects, and welcome to your monthly dose of mail calls from this channel. I am recording this on the 30th of October, so I really waited to the end to make sure everything came in. And yeah, I think it was about like 5 items. I gotta double check the list really quickly to make sure I am telling the truth. Yeah, nope, 6 items were released this month, but 2 of them are in the respective pile of loot warehouse situation because I don't need to ship everything all at one time. I'm not the storage, they have it there for me. So currently got 4 items that came in this month. We've already gone over one of them for the honorable mention, and I'm excited to talk about these 2. I think I said that in a post recent or something, talking about the one of these pieces in this mail call I am super excited for. The other one's actually in the warehouse. I'm also super excited for, but I'm not going to ship them probably until end of November, probably December. Let's move on to the figures for this month. To preface this figure, between the years of 2013 and 2018, I was a heavy comic book reader. One day just wanted to go and take a look at my local comic book store and happened upon issue 31, I think it was, of Superior Spider-Man. Had no idea what it was. Took a look, asked the great guy Tom, who was one of the hosts for my local comic book store, and he told me, yo, this is actually the beginning of a new story and an end of an old story. You should take a look at Superior Spider-Man. So I did. I actually ran back all 4 volumes, 4 or 5 volumes of the Superior Spider-Man story, the original sin, and the rebirth of Peter Parker storyline that led up until that point. And I was so hooked and ready for the Spider-Verse, which started coming out after that. Yes, Superior Spider-Man might be my favorite story from the more modern Spider-Man run. And I met Dan Slott, got a good talking conversation with him like 10 years ago at a con. Got him to sign a few pieces, and tell him my appreciation for both the story and the artwork that was provided from this character. That was my origin story of how I got to this figure. The Mess Toys Superior Spider-Man, which became one of my most wanted figures, most hyped for figures this year. Previously had the Marvel Legends one, and it was kind of like a placeholder, you can say. I actually picked it up. Like most of the figures I've been picking up recently, they kind of stay in the packaging until I'm for sure gonna take them out or like pose them up just to, get a feel for them. But I left that one away because I was like, on the fence about it, but hoping another studio, another licenser would do it, maybe Medicom, but they didn't. So Mess Toys, a what do we call them right now? Are they a bootleg company, fourth party, because they're using another company's mold and profiting for it and selling it for a super low cost? It's an interesting concept because I've been trying to compare it to any other figure company that's currently out, and probably between maybe a few bootleg Metacoms from CT. CT's really just re-releasing or redoing figures that Metacom has not come back out and released. Mess Toys has come and created the Spider-Man that I wanted, the one that I saw on the pages, the one that has the articulation, the deep cuts, the Ryan Stegman, Humberto Ramos, Giuseppe Camcoli art style, which kind of varied from the beginning of the series all the way to the end. And this is what I wanted. I believe this could beat out the version that Metacon could probably put forward in the future, but it seems like if anybody else is doing it, they're doing it to compete now. And it is kind of rude to say because Mess Toys is stealing a mold from an already established company. But I've been waiting for somebody to give this to me. And when I saw the previews come up, that's when Mess Toys decided, once we did one figure, we should be able to do a bunch of them. And we didn't expect them to actually, change up anything, probably just give them in different colors of OG Spider-Man suits. They've given us different characters. We have an upcoming Venom. We have a Scarlet Spider-Man. We may have a 2099 coming up. They've done like a black suit, and now Amazing Yamaguchi has shown their Ooey Gooey Spider-Man, the proper, I guess, definitive version in response to that. And it's interesting how this is currently going because as consumers, we're happy. We're getting what we want. We can actually get both and be pleased with our purchases and pose and display them in two different places now at this point. But the companies are the ones that are, infighting by themselves, how they get the molds into their own distributors or factories. Maybe they really have hired a staff that's doing all of that once worked at Yamaguchi. We don't know. Maybe somebody does. If you do, drop it in the comments or link me the information. But it's super, super hype to have this figure in my collection. It has all the articulation of a Spider-Man in which I would want, and the Waldos that are super articulated themselves. We have to be careful because even though they do feel pretty solid in their quality, we can't vouch for where they're making their figures at. And it does the job. I think this may be the only Superior Spider-Man I need in my collection going forward. I, of course, would love a Hot Toys, but you know how those last if you try and pose them up. And really, just having the 6-inch scale here on the desk, when I finally have the full Spider-Verse display up, the various different emotes that you can get when you have his mask on, or his half mask, or the mask off, or the little spiderling that comes with it. It's so dope when you have a variety of accessories to go with a figure, because you never want it to just be as bland as just a stanced on your displays. So I'm excited to have this one in the collection. I will wait to see what maybe Amazing Yamaguchi does in the future. But you tell me how you feel if you're on the side of a company loyalist and you stick with no bootlegs and you make sure that all your figures are from the actual licensed company, or you're somebody who just purchases what they want in their collection. You are the buyer. You wait for the companies or the businesses to be able to provide you a product and you pay them money. And that's it. That's all I'll go on for this one. The rest of it for another video. And let's go over to actual licensed company, Tamashii Nations. You are a winner of probably majority of the mail calls for each month of the year of 2025, probably for the length of my collecting career. And this month it was the Super Saiyan 3 Daima Kid Vegeta, a hyped version of a character that we've always wanted to see, always teased in promos, or did Vegeta ever get to Super Saiyan 3? The concepts that have been drawn and even turned into figures, and now we finally have the two versions, both kid and adult, of what Vegeta looks like when he finally reaches that ascended form. And this is the first one. We most likely we're gonna get the adult version. Tamashis don't sleep on money. And while they're working through the Daima run, thank you Akira Toriyama for your last piece of work. I appreciate it. I've already talked about it in past videos. You can see them here, but I'm going to be collecting probably most of these and having a solo Daima display. It might be away from the regular Dragon Ball GT, and Z stuff, but I'm hyped to put this one together. It's a great little mold. I know there were some like pictures of the head-on shots where the hair doesn't flare out as much as we wanted, but of course perspective and then artistic renditions. But this does what we need for a Kid Vegeta. Comparing him to the base version, he's a little more bulky, and it's something I never realized that much. It does Goku get bulkier as he goes through his transformations. I guess this shows it. You can see that kind of more between these two small figures for as much articulation as they have, and also next to base Goku, it's a little taller, so maybe I should have stood it up to make sure of that. But yeah, I appreciate the attention to detail that they did, and I didn't plug in that little hairpiece that came with it that allowed you to have the stand plugged into it so that Vegeta can fly. He comes with an effect piece. He comes with a face for Kid Goku that I didn't show here, and all the hands that is needed for $60. I couldn't pass up on this. It was the first canonization of Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. You can't lose. Just like a little small piece of history. And that's my favorite part of picking up these pieces. Many of them are pieces to the puzzle that create the full picture, but now we have additional pieces that are making the framework that show how much I truly enjoy the hobby in itself. And that's it for the month of October. Thank you once again for watching or listening or having me on in the background. Just gonna show some B-roll at the end here, getting a accessory piece for Kingdom Cheetor. Why didn't this item come with the figure, the original release? Nope, they waited 2 releases down the line to give you not only the proper color scheme, but also all the accessories he requires. Hasbro, licensed companies, some of y'all just be playing around too much. And we know you do it on purpose. If you have any comments on any of the things that I have talked about here, just drop them down there in the little area where you can type and write. I appreciate talking to anybody who also collects, who's like collecting the stuff that I do. And I just have fun talking about these figures as they come in, because I won't be doing this for so long, because after this it's the display portion. It's building it out, making it my own. Hope to talk to you and see you in the next one. This was fun. I've been talking too long, and I gotta start editing this so I can get it out before the end of the month again. Talk to you soon. Peace.
Great job.